welcome to X31 Topic 3 Pundits. I'm your host, John C. Dvorak. I'm here with Andrew Eisner and Joe Engo, as usual, to discuss today the Windows 8, I guess the product manager, or the head of the whole division.
It wasn't Windows 8, he was a Windows Phone.
That's a Windows Phone guy. He quits.
Yeah, after 21 years.
I understand it's because his name was Kindel.
That's right.
And he was offered a job at Amazon.
That's right. I think there's some connection, there's some strange connection with Amazon. But yeah, I mean, it doesn't speak very highly of, the confidence in the Windows Phone 7.
Well, I mean, he said on his blog that he's going off to found a new project.
Oh, yeah.
So,
spend more time with his family. Yeah, whatever.
Okay, no, spending time with family, that's total BS. Sure. If he's actually working on a product, hey, it might even be a Windows 7 kind of product.
Yeah, why?
Well, yeah, I mean.
So have you guys played with Windows 7 Phone?
Yeah, a little bit.
I went to the stores. Yeah. I did another column for you.
Yeah.
Check it out.
Okay.
So I went to the AT&T store, and then I went to the T-Mobile store right next to it. There's two of them in this one area. And I went to the AT&T store, and for one thing, they were all happy to see me. Oh, hi, how you doing? What can we show you? And I said, I just want to look at the Windows phone, this Phone 7. And they had a bunch of them, well displayed. The guy even had one that he used. It had a keyboard. It was kind of cool. And I played with it. And I made this column, which I called the wabi-sabi of which I believe is the problem, which is that the phone has no soul. It's a soul. It has, and I think it's because it's a committee. It does everything you want. I mean, it's great. It works great. The little things flip around and they roll at you, and they do this and they close this way. But it's for some reason it's not exciting, and I couldn't put my finger on it except this wabi-sabi concept, which is a Japanese thing where you have to have some flaw. Or the thing is creepy. Yeah. And but then I went, by the way, to the T-Mobile store, and they were not interested in my being a customer. So
what do you mean they were not interested?
They wouldn't. They know they're all shooting the crap with each other. They're on the water cooler. They didn't care what. I could have stolen the phones, and they wouldn't have noticed. And I think it's because they think they've been bought out, so they're acting like a bought-out company, which is a shame. But anyway, I like the phone. Yeah. But I didn't buy one, that's for sure.
No, it's got its challenges. I mean, even though they're bragging that it has 23,000 apps, but I mean that's compared to what, 450,000.
Well, 100 of them are probably fart apps. So,
yeah, that's true. but still, so they need apps and they need cool phones, and whether or not they can do it. Actually, I think one of the interesting new operating systems will be Windows 8, which is now built for ARM. I mean, because previously Windows wouldn't run on all the ARM chips. They will only run on Atom chips. So that's why you had all the netbooks running Atoms, and you don't have phones running Windows.
Yeah, Atom chips and 306 or 86 compatible.
Yeah, x86.
x86.
So now,
there's a rumor that Apple is testing out MacBook Pros with ARM chips in it.
Yeah.
Just because ARM chips are amazing for battery life, and I'm pretty sure that Microsoft has realized that in order for them to compete long term on mobile devices and portable devices, they've got to create a build of ARM.
Well,
it's a very smart move for them. Because if they're going to have a decent tablet, they have to support ARM.
Yeah, maybe. But let's take a look at the Apple using a MacBook with an ARM chip in it. For one thing, those MacBooks are pretty powerful. The ARM chips never achieve those power levels. The way the MacBook is designed currently, it's getting a ton of battery life, 8 hours or something like that.
No, MacBook Pro does not get 8 hours. That's ridiculous.
How much does it get?
Realistically, the most I've seen is maybe 3-4 hours. Yeah. You just don't get more than that. I don't care what their battery meter said. That's why when the iPad was first announced, they announced 11 hours. I called BS on it the whole time until I was able to actually use it. Those battery suggestions are always ridiculous.
But here's the problem. See, you're
right.
The MacBooks. Do you need? The MacBooks run on now the new Core i5s and i7s.
Yeah.
But the tablets and phones run on the Cortex A5 and the A9 and the A4, right? Which are not x86. They are.
And they're not very powerful.
Yes.
And but the way that OS X is designed, they can actually have, they can have a fat binary that runs on all different ones.
Okay.
So like, let's say for example, they want to create a MacBook Air that ran on an ARM. I think that would be excellent because now you're getting, instead of 4 hours of battery.
What about your applications? How are you going to run? I mean, I suppose Microsoft.
Because remember, during the transition from PowerPC to Intel, the only
thing
you had to do was
lucky.
What do you mean they got lucky?
They got lucky with that emulation, with being able to move that over.
Well, no, it wasn't just, okay, they had emulation, but then on top of that, they had this ability to be able to create, it's called a fat binary. So you can actually have the x86 and the PowerPC code in the exact same binary file that you download. It's a universal app.
Okay.
So they could do the exact same thing. So developers would actually just be able to compile it for both platforms.
It's still going to have to, well, I guess you could.
Yeah.
Well,
I'm not sure I agree.
I'm not sure. I want to see it to believe it, because I don't believe that these things won't turn into pigs running ARM, because it's just not a fast processor. It's not designed for power.
Well, they're now making them dual and quad core, you know, and it'll be, the interesting angle will be, will the ability to run Windows 8 on a mobile device all of a sudden allow you to bring out a lot of software that you might not have been able to run. So, I mean, I'm not sure what's happening with Microsoft OS and software. I mean, you used to have, that was the reason why you got a PC, because the software was cheaper. They had a shareware, you know, library that was enormous, and so you had like unlimited amount of software. But now, I mean, you know, 23,000 apps is not going to do it. But if you all of a sudden have compatibility with all the Windows library, is that going to change?
Well, I want to see Photoshop run on one of these ARM device laptops and see what exactly what.
Well, it's more than just laptops. I mean, you know, for Microsoft, it's specifically in order for them to compete in the tablet market, they have to support ARM. End of story. Like, there's just no other way, because, you know, the Windows tablets are getting maybe 2 or 3 hours out of them. You know, where the iPad, you're getting 11 hours. Like, that's very difficult to compete with.
No, I agree with that, but how about this for an idea? Microsoft's not going to compete for crap in the tablet market ever.
They're going to try. Are they going to be successful? That's a whole different story, though.
You heard it here.
I'm just saying. You've been watching X3.